welcome back to my channel, or welcome. If you're new here, a very, very warm welcome to you. My name's Emily and I am a knitter, crocheter and very occasional sewer. Today's episode is my weekly podcast, so I'll be covering any updates, any finished objects, any works in progress that I've worked on in the last week or so, any cast-ons and any acquisitions. Before we get stuck in though, how are you all today? I hope that you're all doing well and that you're having a really lovely week so far. I am very tired today, if I'm honest. I wasn't very well last week. It kind of hit me at the tail end of the week, and then the weekend was more just recovery, and then this week it's very warm here in the UK. It's sunny. I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a little bit sunburnt. The fun escapades of yesterday. But yeah, so for those who suffer with hay fever, you'll know why I'm feeling a bit rotten at the minute. The weather gets nice, the pollen count rises, and then my allergies play havoc on me. So yeah, feeling a little bit not grand, but I'm happy because the sun is out. And yesterday I spent with my parents. They came over to see me, and we spent a lot of the time in the garden yesterday, just sitting, chilling. I did some knitting in the garden, and then we went for a nice long walk. There's a couple of villages by me where there are walking paths between the villages, and I have tried this walk before to get to one of these villages, but I got lost. As I always do. I always get that. Every time I try a new walking route, I always get lost. And then the second time I try it, we're on it. And that's what happened yesterday. We discovered that there's a really nice classic car garage. Well, I say discovered. I know the classic car garage is there because I drive past it at least once a week and dribble over all the beautiful cars that they have for sale outside. One day. Anyway, so I knew that was there. My dad was very excited, and so was I actually. They have a classic mini pickup, which was beautiful. Yeah, it's very tempting, but no, is the end of that. But yeah, so we stopped in at the pub afterwards and had a coffee. Then we walked home. It was really nice, but yeah, I was out in the sun all day, so a little bit, doesn't help that I'm wearing a bright red t-shirt as well, you know, just colour coordinating here. I mean, I don't think, no, it doesn't look that bad actually, on camera at least, but I tell you, I can feel, you know, when you feel the tingle, yeah, I've got the tingle. Anyway, whew, shall we get stuck in? I am going to start with updates, and the first update, well, the first and only update that I have for you today is that Behind the Seams is due. So I will be filming that on a Saturday, which will be tomorrow. I'll be filming that, hopefully, if nothing gets in the way, because this is the last chance I'm going to get to do it because we're out next weekend. So the video should be with you on Sunday the 23rd of March at around 10 AM UK time. That's my plan. So Behind the Seams is just what it says on the tin, really. I take you on a crafty day with me. I start the day with a to-do list, crafty to-do list, and I try and see how many items I can get ticked off on my crafty to-do list. It's really useful for me because I actually manage to be quite productive when I do these videos, and they are once a month. So yes, March's video is due, and I'm hoping to film that tomorrow. So that is your update for this week. The next item on my list is finished objects, and sadly I don't have any finished objects to show you this week. I did try my best on one project, and then I sort of, you know, when you just plough away at a project and then you just think, I want to do something different, I've had enough for today. So that's what happened really. So that's why there's no finished objects for you today. There are a couple of works in progress to show you, and I've got to be careful because I had to move these flowers. They were up here, but it looked like I had tulips coming out of my head like antenna. Didn't think that was such a good idea. So they're here, and they're right by all of my project bags. So I'm hoping I'm not going to get pollen on the project bags. It should be fine. Right, so the first work in progress that I have to show you that I've been working on is in this lovely Toft project bag. It is not a Toft item, but what I have to show you is the lovely it doesn't really look like much, but please bear with me. It is my March gnome. So here we are. This is, let me try and flatten that out without losing any stitches. There we go. This is Gnicole the Gnome by Sarah Shearer. It is out of this lovely Gnomes of Gribblewood book by Sarah Shearer. She is, let me find her. Ah, here we go. Can I show that one? No, but I can show that one. So here she is, Gnicole the Gnome. And as you can see, the majority of her is the hat. So that is why there's not a lot to show you, but I am slowly getting there with the hat. And if you see here, this is the marker is where I got to the last time I showed you. So I've managed to do a decent chunk, and we are slowly coming in, so we're tapering to that point. And it's a really nice cable design, it's really sweet. So in theory, once I've done this hat, the rest of the gnome should be quite quick going. It's just this hat is taking a bit of time because there's a bit of concentrating when it comes to doing the cabling and the decreases at the minute. So that is ideally what it's going to happen. This hat's going to fold over and it's just going to be a nice tall hat. It's going to be really sweet. So that is, I nearly lost my marker then. That is Gnicole the Gnome, my March gnome. So, oh, you can't see them, but there's a couple of gnomes up here. So I've got my January gnome and my February gnome up there because I'm taking part in Sarah Shearer's Year of Gnomes. So trying to make a gnome a month. I didn't update my Ravelry with my February gnome, so I didn't enter that one into the make along for prizes. I'm not really too bothered in terms of entering for prizes. I just want to keep up, essentially, so that's why I stopped doing that. But yeah, I am going to do my best to keep up with working on the gnomes, but there it is once again. The yarn I'm using is by Botanical Yarn. I don't have a colourway for you because I bought a number of mystery bags for Sophie's 20 gram minis, so 20 gram mini mystery bags. And yeah, I just ended up with a load of them. So that is what I'm using for my gnomes, mostly. And leftovers, I'm thinking, I could do leftovers, couldn't I? Leftover gnomes. But essentially my plan is to make loads of gnomes and then I can gift them to family members and loved ones towards the end of the year for Christmas. So that is my March gnome. We're getting there slowly on her. They are quite small, so yeah, it's just a bit heavy on my hands sometimes. And I don't know why. Oh no, I've got a lot of small circumference projects at the moment, so they are hurting my hands because I'll go from one to the other because I lose interest on one, so I'll pick up another one. But with it being small circumference, it's still putting strain on my hands. So I've been trying to deviate from mix it up with the small projects and the bigger projects, but I didn't have many big projects left. So but we'll get into the rest now. So the next one that I have to show you is in the lovely bag. This is by Paula from Stitched by Mrs. D. I will tag her channel below once again. This is Bertram, one of her absolutely beautiful project bags. She's just amazing. It's so soft as well. So in here I have another make along that I'm not doing very well with keeping up with at all. Are we surprised? But this make along is taking part in Martyn from Knit365. Once again, I will tag Martyn's channel below. He is doing a Toft dollar long. He does it every year, as far as I know, and he has some wonderful prizes on for this make along. So please go check it out. Check out all of his Instagram stories, posts, and things like that to get an idea of what the prizes are. But the doll that I have chosen is, I don't have the picture to show you, but I have chosen to do Darwin, Charles Darwin. And basically I have finished the body and head for Charles. Here he is. He's got his lovely ears. I love these ears. They're great, aren't they? I haven't sewn his head together yet. I don't know why, but I haven't. But there we are. There's his body and his head. So that is good. And then I have started, if I can find it, that would be fantastic. But I'm struggling at the moment. Oh, there it is. Got it. So I've started on one of his arms. There you go. So not very far, really. As I say, it was small things, and crochet tends to hurt my hands sometimes as well. And I just wanted to give my hands are rest really, so that's why I've not really done a lot, but I might do a little bit more tonight. But that is what I've done so far, so really not a lot. I can't remember when the make along ends, but it started on the 8th of March and I think it ends in April sometime, but I just can't remember when. It would help if I actually looked it up before doing this and giving you the proper information. But if you go over to Martyn's channel or his social media, he will have everything noted on there, so it will give you the real end date, so you'll be able to know. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. Charles Darwin. Yeah, just not a lot done on him. But yeah, he does have a lot of dark yarn, so a lot of his clothes are done using the dark yarn. So I imagine I'm going to be very pleased that the sun is out, because working with dark yarn at night or when it's a dull day, it's not the easiest. It's a bit of a strain on the old eyes, you know. So that is product number 2 that I've been working on at Charles Darwin by Toft. The next one that I have to show you is, I've done quite a bit of work on this, and this is the one I was trying to finish, but yeah, I just didn't get there because I wanted to work on something else. So this is the beautiful Rad Plaid Cowl by Andrea Mowry, and if I show you the marker, that's where I got to the last time I showed you. So I've done a nice chunk of knitting there, and if I put it round me, it's basically there. So, but I've still got about 2 inches left to knit. So half of me is wondering, I think it has a twist in it actually as well, not that that's going to do a lot. So half of me is wondering, shall I just finish it as it is? Because otherwise it's going to be too big for me, isn't it? I think. Oh, careful, because that's going to come off easy peasy, make a mess of my hair, you know. But I feel like that if I make it any bigger, let me try and seal that. If I make it any bigger, it's going to be too gapey for me. Ooh. So I think I might call this and then go on to the next part of the pattern, which I think is to block it and then seam it together. I believe. I will need to double check that just to make sure that I'm not missing anything, and that I have ended on the right place. I'm actually partway through a row, am I? Oh yeah, no, I am partway through a row, but I'm just going to double check all of that. But I think I'm going to call that. I don't think I need the extra 2 inches personally. We shall see if that is a big mistake, but that is the Rad Plaid Cowl by Andrea Mowry. The yarn I'm using is all by Boscastle Yarn, so Tanya at Boscastle Yarn, and here we go. Here is her logo. There you go. And I am using the colours Gorse and Granite, which is this one. Beautiful colourway this. I this one adore. And then the next colour is this one, which is called Valency Valley. I love this one as well. It's just unreal how lovely that colour is. And then the final colourway that I'm using, those are both fingering weight yarn. They are 75% superwash, to say 75% merino, 25% nylon, my apologies. That's what it says there, and it's 4-ply stock yarn. And then this lovely colourway is called Crowdy, and as you can see, it's a nice bit of fluff. And it is a Surrey silk lace, which is 74% baby Surrey alpaca, 26% mulberry silk. And as I say, the colourway is called Crowdy. Beautiful. And so I am using all 3 of these throughout my Rad Plaid Cowl. So there you go. As I say, I'm going to block it and then see where I'm at and see if I'm happy to finish it off. I think I am, pretty much. Feel like I am. Right, the next one that I have for you, ooh, this one was another one that I was seriously ploughing ahead with, and I could have finished it had I got the supplies, but I ran out. I played yarn chicken and I lost, basically. So I will get into that in a moment. Hang on, let me get the project out. Right. Oh, there's stuff everywhere. Have I actually disconnected? No, I haven't. I'm not sure why I've not disconnected yet, but anyway. So this is the gorgeous, let me get it the right way around, Sacred Woods sweater by Janine Miska, and it's just lovely. This is the second time I've been making it. The first time I had to frog it. I'd got all the way, I'd done all the body and I'd started on an arm, and I had to frog it because it was just too big. So I frogged it, redid it in a size that was smaller, and I'm so much happier with it. It's beautiful. The yarn that I'm using is by Paintbox Yarns. It is called Wool Blend Worsted. It is a mix of 25% wool, 75% acrylic, and the shade number is 21. There you are. And that's what I've got left. Oh no, it is disconnected. That's all I've got left. That's it. No more. And as you can see, there is no collar on it. Yes, I know there's lots of ends, and yes, I know that the wonderful Alex from My Yarny Corner, her Wheel of Fun spun sewing in ends this week. Sadly, this week has been an absolute nightmare in terms of work for me. So I've been finishing late. I've been too tired to do something that doesn't fill me with joy. So I've been spending my evenings doing things that fill me with joy, and sewing in ends is not one of those. So I do apologise, Alex. The 1 week that I should be doing it, I've not been doing it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do it next week instead. I'm going to be a week behind because I'm determined to do a week of 20 minutes a day sewing in ends on my Sweet Shop blanket because they need to be sewn in. But this week has just been a complete write-off in terms of doing things like that, if you know what I mean. So I do apologise, Alex. It's the perfect week to do it, but I just, oh my gosh, it was the worst week in terms of my brain and work. So yeah, next week I'm going to do it a week after. That's my plan. So anyway, this Sacred Wood sweater is just, well, I've completely lost where I was, but this Sacred Wood sweater, I have done one sleeve, so that's where I got to the last time you saw it. I have finished that sleeve. I haven't seamed the cuff together yet, so I need to do that. I wanted to wait until I was sure of my yarn, but yeah, sadly, not enough. And I've also done the second arm, and I just need to do that cuff. Why does that cuff look smaller than that cuff? Bigger than that cuff, I mean. Oh no, they're exactly the same. I don't know why it looks bigger. It's really strange. Unless I was feeling a bit loose that day, a bit calmer, maybe. I don't know. It does look bigger. Oh, I'll sew it up and I'll try it on and see how I feel. If I need to take another row out. But there it is. It's lovely. You can see there's the bottom. It's got the really long high hem. And I'm not going to try it on now. What I will do is I'll put it on properly when I've finished it because, well, I don't know why, but shall I put it on? Oh, let's put it on. I think it's because this top that I'm wearing, it is extremely static loving. So I'm paranoid. I'm going to put this on and then take it off and my top's just going to go and then I'm not going to be, it's just going to look really odd. But we'll see how we do. Let me put it on. Because the thing is, you've been seeing this in different ways and it'd be nice for you to actually get an idea of what it looks like on. Right, let me sort my sleeves out. Hang on. There we go. Please excuse my attire as well because nothing matches. But there we have it. Right, okay, so here we go. This, ooh, always the way, isn't it? This is the Sacred Wood sweater. As you can see, it fits me so much better than it did. And I feel like it's a bit lopsided, actually. Which way do I need to go? That way? Yeah, that's it. So there we go. It's really, really lovely. I'm really happy with the fit. As I say, just need to do that collar now and then I can wear it as a sweater. You can see the back. I think, because I said to you before, I wasn't sure about the height of the these side seams, but actually I don't mind it. I might make it a bit lower, but I think I'm going to get to that decision when it's actually finished and I've blocked it and everything like that. So there we are. That is the Sacred Woods sweater as an actual sweater this time instead of just a strip of crochet. But I do really like this pattern. I think it's gorgeous. This is actually really warm, so it's definitely not going to be for the weather that we're having here in the UK now, but at least it will be done and ready for the winter months, or the autumn, colder months, I should say. Right, let me get this off without creating too much static. I think my task this weekend is probably to seam up these cuffs and sew in the ends and just get it ready for when I can get more yarn. So I went on the website to buy another ball of the yarn this weekend, and sadly they are out of stock of that colourway. So I know that the what is it? I was about to say the job lot then. It's not the job lot, is it? It's the dye lot. I know the dye lot is going to be completely different, but I'm going to take that risk because the only thing I need to use it for is that collar. So if it's slightly different, I'm not bothered about that because it is only that collar that's going to be different. So it's going to be fine. I just need more yarn because that is not enough to do the collar, sadly. But that is my Sacred Wood sweater by Janine Miska. I'm really happy that that is at the stage it's at, to be honest. It's very, very good. Right, let me grab this. Right, the next item on my list is a cross stitch project, which is in my lovely caterpillar cross stitch bag. It's not a caterpillar cross stitch, but I have done some work on it. And this is my... let me just grab this actually because I'm going to need it to make it easier for you to see. So sadly I have moved a lot of things around on this, so you can't see the full effect. Let me move that down there we go. But you will be able to, oh no, I can do that, can't I? You will be able to see what I've done, hopefully. So this is my Secret Grove cross stitch by Needle Lot Designs, and I've just had a parcel through the door. How exciting. Anyway, so this is the Secret Grove by Needle Lot Designs. It's their stitch along. It is currently on clue 7. I can't remember how many clues that are in total, but it does say part on here. Part 7 is out. I have just finished part 1 and I'm just working on part 2. Part 2 is this lovely lantern here. There's a lovely bug with some orbs, and I've just started on the owl. So if I bring this up, this is part 3, but at least you'll have an idea. So this is what I'm working on down here, the owl, these orbs and that lantern. And then I'll be moving on to this section over here with the welcome and the bottom part of the tree. That's part 3. So I've got a long, long way to go to get myself up to date to part 7. But I've done a bit more is the main thing. And I've just taken off my needle minder. Oh, never mind. But there we go. That is where I'm at. That's what I've done so far. So I managed to get quite a bit done on it last week. I wasn't expecting to. Oh, it's all right. I lost the magnet. There we go. But I managed to get a nice bit done, so I was really happy with that. I tend to have, cross stitch for me comes in waves. If I'm feeling in the mood, I'll pick it up and I'll just sit and do loads of it. But then I'll have points where I just don't want to pick up a cross stitch at all, so I won't. And it'll be like, I probably won't pick this up for another couple of weeks now, but it depends how I'm feeling. Yeah, at least I'm done on clue 1 though. That's the main thing, so I'm quite happy with that. So those are all the works in progress that I have to show you this week. That brings us on to cast-ons, and I do have 2 cheeky cast-ons to show you this week. The first one, let me just double check. Yes, the first one is because I like to have socks on the needle. I always have to have a pair of socks on the needle. I don't know if it's just me, but even if I'm not working on them avidly, even if they just get put to a side, at least if I have a pair of socks on the needle, I feel like everything is right in my little world. So I have cast on a pair of socks, but the nice thing about these socks, there's 2 nice things about these socks. 1 is that I'm using leftovers, and 2, they are for Rob. So really happy with that because he has been after a pair of socks from me for a while. I made him some a long time ago, but I made them using 1 ply 100% wool. Big mistake because he wore through them so fast, it was ridiculous. But he was gutted because he loved them. So I said to him, I will make you a pair of socks out of some better wool that should last a bit longer. I've cast on basically. In fact, I've more than cast on. I have actually finished a sock. So here is sock number 1 for Rob. They are made, if they look familiar, they are made using the yarn that I used for my Dartmoor sweater. So Rob, when he's at home, he just lets his feet get really, really cold to the point that they go blue. It's ridiculous. And I'm always telling him, put some socks on, or at least put a blanket over your feet. But he never does, bless him. And so it's about time I made him a nice warm pair of socks, and these are basically going to be house socks, which is why they are fluffy, why they are really, really thick. And I don't think he's going to be wandering around the house with them. They are purely for when he's sitting at his computer gaming, or when he's sitting on the sofa and he's just chilling. So they're just kind of like slippers, if you will, but they're socks. So here they are. He is really stoked because whenever I wear the sweater, my Dartmoor sweater that is made out of the yarn that I've used here, which I'll tell you about in a minute, he always says it's the softest thing ever, and he would love a pillow made out of it. So I went in another direction and made him a pair of socks out of them. So that is sock number 1. I am using a pattern as kind of a guide because I am using yarn that I'm not used to using, and I thought if I have a pattern that I can at least use as a guide, then I'll know what I'm doing. So the pattern I am using is the Vanilla Socks by the Blue Mouse. Is mouse, isn't it? Yeah, Blue Mouse. So that's the pattern that I am using to get me through with these socks. So as I say, as you can see, I have made one already. Fits him like a glove. Obviously I need to sew in the ends, as I'm sure you know, but one sock is done. So I've written loads and loads of notes, so I know exactly what I'm doing for sock number 2, so I can get that started hopefully this weekend and get that done for him nice and quick. Because the yarn is so thick, you can see there it's quite a thick yarn, and again I'll tell you about it in a minute. Because it's so thick, they knit up really, really fast, so that's fantastic. So the yarn I am using is, let me grab my labels. Oh, I can grab that one actually. So I am using Drops Nepal Mix. There you are. Which is a blend of 65% wool, 35% alpaca. Is it an Aran weight? It's either worsted or Aran, one of the two, but I'm not sure which. But the colourway is this colour here, so 0618. So after I made my Dartmoor sweater, I actually had 4 of these left. This sock took a whole 50-gram ball and a bit more, so that's what I've got left of, which is almost a whole ball, but it's not quite. So I used a whole 50-gram and then a little bit. So I should be able to use up the majority of my my yarn as well. So I am holding the Drops the Drops Nepal mix together with this, which is Drops Kid Silk Mohair. Can't get the ring light to stop. There we go. And that is a mix of, let me find it. It is 75% mohair, 25% silk, and the colourway is number 12. There you are. So yeah, as I say, exactly the same as my Dartmoor sweater. I am just holding those two together, and I'm getting this, which is a really thick, warm, soft, cozy sock. So I'm really excited to get the second one made, and then he can have a lovely pair of socks that will hopefully keep his feet nice and toasty and warm is the plan. So there we go, a nice make for the lovely Rob. I think he's very excited for these actually, so that's good. I still need to make his musselburgh. I have not forgot, and I even have the fleece that I need to line that hat as well. So once I've done these socks, perhaps I should think about doing the musselburgh as well. But yes, so that is cast on number 1. Cast on number 2 is purely because the weather is getting lovely outside now, and I really wanted to get started on a summer make. Now, for those of you who have been with me for a little while, you'll know that I don't tend to make projects based on the weather. Seasonal knitting, I don't tend to do seasonal projects, I just tend to do whatever I fancy. But I really fancy making this, and it just so happens that it is a summer make, so I almost feel like that's kind of intentional, but accidentally intentional, if there's even a thing. But anyway, the project that I have cast on is the lovely Adriata vest by Hohi Locatelli. As you can see, I've not done a massive amount, but it is definitely underway, and you can see those lovely lace panels starting to take shape on either side of the work. This is the back panel. It is, let me actually open my notes, because I think I actually wrote some good notes. I kind of did. Okay, so the Adriata by Hohi Locatelli. I am using 4mm needles to do mine. That is what Hohi states in the pattern, or recommends in the pattern. The yarn I'm using is, it's this lovely yarn here, which is Rowan Creative Linen. The makeup of that is, it should be, yep, it's 50% linen, 50% cotton. And the colourway is, there we go, it is shade 00620. There we go. So that is what I am using. It's not the softest in the world, but as I'm knitting it, it feels like it's almost becoming softer as it's building into the fabric. It feels summery, it feels light, it feels like it is gonna be a nice layer for summer. Not too much, but not too heavy. That's exactly the same as I've just said. Not too heavy, but enough, I would say. I'm loving how it's working up. It just looks really nice. And it's a lot drapier than I thought it would be. I thought it would be quite a stiff fabric. So I don't know whether it's because of the linen content that it's a bit more drapey than 100% cotton. I'm not sure. I mean, it might be, but I've not worked with linen before. I do struggle to say that sometimes. I've worked with 100% cotton. I've actually worked with cotton bamboo as well, but I've never worked with linen as a fibre. So this has been quite interesting to do. So back to my my book. I purchased 3 skeins of these. They are in 100-gram skeins, so I've got 3 of them, just working my way through the first one out as we speak. I cast on size 2. So in the pattern, Hohi does say, what does she say? So the pattern, recommended ease of 0 to 2 inches or 0 to 5 centimetres of negative ease. For me, I am a 35-inch bust, so to put in some negative ease, that takes me to size 2, which here the schematics, the finished measurements say size 2 is 34-inch bust. So that is what I've done. That's why I've chosen size 2, because that gives me 1 inch of negative ease, which is halfway in the recommended, so that's good. I haven't done a gauge swatch though, so just bear that in mind if it all goes bottoms up in a couple of weeks' time. I keep knocking flowers, but yeah, I haven't done a gauge swatch. I'm just hoping that it's going to be fine. I mean, I keep holding it up against myself and it feels like it's going to be, I mean, obviously this is the back, so it's not a good idea, not a good representation, but I feel like it's going to be a nice hugging vest, which is the idea of it, I think. Let me show you a picture of it finished, shall we? So there it is, the Adriata vest. I think it's gorgeous. As I say, it's got these lovely lace panels around the armholes and that continue down the body. Really, really beautiful. So excited to get working on this. I'm excited to get it going in the round actually. So as I say, this is the back panel. Then I've got to do the front panel, I believe. And then I can start working in the round once I've gone far enough down for the armholes. I always get a bit nervous with armholes on anything because I don't like anything cutting up into my armpit. It's just the way I am. I don't like it. So I'm hoping that these arms are going to be long enough, there's going to have enough depth to them that it's not going to irritate me. But we shall see. And if they're not, then I'll just have to extend the top portion a little bit more. That's one thing that I can foresee that I might need to do. But so far, really happy and I'm really enjoying how this yarn is working up. I was a bit nervous that the yarn was going to feel a bit funny as I was knitting it, just because of how it feels in the skein, but actually it's a dream. It's a pleasure to work with. The yarn does split quite easy, so hang on, is it that way? Yeah. So if I do that, you can see that it helps if I can. So if I do that, you can see that the fibres are quite splitty, but when you're actually working with it, it doesn't cause an issue, which I'm quite fascinated by actually, because the fibres are so split. There you go, you can see that there on the needle, but for some reason I'm knitting it fine. I've not had any splitting issues when I'm actually knitting, which is amazing. So yeah, quite like this yarn actually. I might, depending on how we go through the first trial of wearing it, I may consider it for future makes. That's possibility. I quite like it. Right, so those are all my cast-ons, thankfully. I am still trying to get my whips down. There's still quite a few on the needles, on the hooks. But as I say, I mean, the intention was there to finish the Sacred Wood sweater. I just ran out of the yarn. So sadly, that's unavoidable. The Rad Plaid Cowl, I reckon, can be done pretty quickly, which would be nice. So that's going to be 2 long-term whips that will be going hopefully soon. But yeah, we're getting there, slowly but surely. My apologies, everyone. I had a bit of an address flashing moment, so we had to try again, as you do. So the final section that I have for you is my acquisitions, and I do have a number for you this week. I do have a couple more coming, but they're not here, so I won't show you those until next week. Hopefully they'll have arrived by then. But also, I do have one, I'm just double checking my notes. I do have one that I want to share with you, because it's not going to come until, what do I put here? It doesn't come until May. So I thought, oh, I'll just tell you about it anyway, because it's not going to be here for ages. So yeah, I'm very excited about it regardless. So the first acquisition that came was a nice big bag of yarn. I know I'm on a lesser buy year, but this has a project in mind, so I'm really excited about it. It's a project that I have never seen before, and it's by a designer that I've never heard of, so I was quite just ridiculously excited about it. And I was introduced to this designer and this pattern by a new YouTuber to me. Her name is Ronja and her channel is called Yarn and Hugs. I will tag her channel below. I believe she's still a fairly new YouTuber, so please go over, check out her channel, give her some love, because she's putting out some really lovely content and it's just fantastic. The algorithm gave me her video on patterns that aren't the usual patterns. I can't remember the exact name of the video, but I will definitely tag it up here, because she has found some really lovely and different patterns that aren't the ones that everybody's going for. And as I say, I picked out 2 from her video, and I just wanted to give her some love, because thank you, Ronja, your video was fantastic, and I was definitely introduced to some new designers out there and some new patterns, of which I will be making. So thank you very much. So the patterns that I have purchased for the yarn that I've just shown you are these. This is the first one. It is called Basic Tee / Long Sleeve Tee. So you can do it either short sleeve or long sleeve. There it is. It is by Spectacle Strik. Please excuse my pronunciation, but I thought it was beautiful. And then the other one, it's a cord set. Cord, is that the right? Cord set, or a 2-piece set. You can either wear it together or you can wear it separately. I'm sure it'll work either way, but these are the shorts. How lovely are they? And they are called Basic A-Shape Shorts. There they are, gorgeous. I think they're fantastic. And as soon as Ronja showed these on her video, I just thought, I could wear these to Le Mans. That would be amazing. So, because it's always really hot at Le Mans. So I thought, perfect, just gonna love it. So hang on, I'm just gonna strategically place some paper so I can show you the set together. There you are, that's what it's gonna look like. That is the long sleeve version of the top, but that's the top with the shorts. and it looks great. I love it. So I'm making, hopefully soon, another summer make. Now, here's me saying I'd like to wear it at Le Mans. Le Mans is in June, and where are we? We're nearly at the end of March. I might need to do another cast on, mightn't I? Oh, gosh. But those are what I want to make. I'm very excited. The patterns will be tagged below, and as I said, I will have previously tagged Ronja's video where I got these patterns from, and again, I will have tagged Ronja's channel below. Please go over and check her out and give her some love. She's doing some good stuff over there. So, the yarn. The yarn I've chosen, what does it say on here actually? Let's start from the start, shall we? Right, so the yarn recommended in the pattern is Sadner's Line, which is 53% cotton, 33% viscose, 14% linen, and per 50 gram ball, it would be 110 meters per 50 gram ball. So that is the same for both the shorts and for the top. So the yarn I've chosen, I was going to buy the actual yarn, but then I thought if I'm wearing it to Le Mans, I'm going to be wearing it in summer, I'm going to be sweating profusely, and I will also be having loads of sun cream all over my arms, all over me, and I didn't really want to go buying a really fancy, lovely yarn if it's going to be ruined by sun cream and sweat. Do you know what I mean? Or food as well, or drinks, because I am renowned for spilling stuff down myself. So I went for a cheaper alternative, but the makeup is exactly the same. So it's the perfect alternative. It's just more budget friendly for myself. So the yarn is Drops Bell, and it is 53% cotton, 33% viscose, 14% linen. Perfect. It's bang on. The meterage is slightly different though, because the Sadner's Line is 110 meters per 50 gram ball, whereas this Drops Bell is 120 meters per 50 gram ball. So it's not too dissimilar. I think I can get away with it. So the colours I've chosen are blue and white, because those are colours that work with me a lot better, and plus blue is my favourite colour, so it tends to be what I lean towards. Where were we? So the colourways, I've got blue at colour is 13, there you are, and then the colour for the white is colour 1. So those are the colours that I'm going for. Quite excited to try this out. Again, I've not used viscose in a fibre in terms of knitting before, so I'm quite excited to do that. It is quite similar. It is softer, actually. No, it's a lot softer. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is a lot softer than the yarn that I'm using on my Adriata, so we'll see how we get on with it. But I'm quite excited to try this yarn out. I'm quite excited to make a coordinating set as well. I think that'd be well cute. But as I say, it'd be perfect for Le Mans because it's usually really hot. It also rains as well. It's the weirdest weather at Le Mans. But yeah, very excited. And if I can make it before we go, that'd be fantastic. But if not, I'm not going to be too bothered. But at least I've got another nice summer project in the works, or the planning. So yeah, that was my first acquisition, both the patterns and the yarn. The next acquisition is the one that's not here yet, so I'm going to have to hold up my notes. So I subscribed to Innocent Bones's subscription box. So Innocent Bones, they are a cross-stitch company, and they do like tarot cards and Halloween-y style cross-stitch patterns and kits. And I really like the aesthetic of them. The colour palettes that they use are quite moody. They're just perfect. They're fantastic. So I do have a couple of kits from Innocent Bones, which I'm working on one at the moment, which is a gift for a friend, but I've not picked it up for a while. But I got quite intrigued and thought, oh, I've got a little extra yarn budget this month. I might try this subscription out, because I've been eyeing it. It's one of those, you know, you eye something up for ages and then you think, oh, actually, I think I'm going to get it this month. So yeah, it's a bi-monthly subscription, and the theme for the one that I have ordered is Celestial. It's perfect, so I'm really excited about that, but that's not going to arrive until May, so I've got a little while to wait for that. But I thought I'd just tell you about it because I was excited, and yeah, it's going to be coming at some point in the future. Right, okay, the next item that I have to show you is a pre-order that has finally arrived. It was posted yesterday and it arrived today. I was not expecting it today. In fact, I completely forgot about it when I got the dispatch notice yesterday. My parents were with me and I was like, I've had a dispatch notice from Toft. I don't recall buying anything from Toft. And then I read the dispatch notice. I was like, oh yeah, I ordered that ages ago. So this is the 10th, the 10th year anniversary of the Birds book by Kerry Lord of Toft. So really happy that this is here. And as I say, I pre-ordered it last year. Why is the book not opening? There we go. I pre-ordered it last year, so I'm really stoked that it's here. I've not been onto my Toft area yet to see what the bonus patterns are, but there usually are bonus patterns when you buy a book through Toft. So I will go through and have a check of that. But yes, it's really lovely to have the 10th anniversary book here at long last. Although I did forget, but yeah, I'm really happy to have it here. Let me just open it up again. Oh yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure if when you pre-order it, it's signed. So yeah, there we go. Kerry has signed it. So there we go. And because it was a pre-order, we got a nice patch as well. How sweet is that? So this is Sophia the Flamingo. Perfect. And I think Sophia's on the front of the book as well, which is just even more perfect. So yeah, I got my nice little patch and I got my book, so really happy with that. And it was, as I say, nice surprise. I was a bit panicked at first because I thought, oh my gosh, what have I been buying without noticing? But then I remembered what it was and I thought, yes, very excited to get that. So that is good. That can go in my book collection. Yes, this is the final thing that I have to show you, and yeah, really happy this is here as well actually, because it means that I can actually start working on things, which is good. So I placed an order for some fabric for sewing. As you know, I'm a very occasional sewer, and I think it was last year I mentioned that I would like to try and start making more of a me-made wardrobe. Hasn't really materialised very much, gotta say. Just purely due to time and funds, because obviously I'm going to have to buy some fabric, and time is very limited for myself lately, and yeah, it just didn't materialise. But I placed an order with First for Fabrics. There we are. My first order that I placed with them. So, and they were really, their customer service was amazing. So I placed the order, and then I ordered some fabric and I ordered some ribbing. I'll show you it in a moment. And in fact, no, I'll show you now. So the first thing I ordered was this, which is ribbing. So this is some aqua ribbing. I just blew the camera out, I'm sorry. Let's hold it back here. Well, let's try and, there we go, get the colours back. There we go, I'll try not to hold it up so close. This is some ribbing, so ribbing that you would use for around a collar, around a cuff, so on and so forth for sewing projects. And it's in aqua colour. And this is to go with some fabric that I already have, that I've changed my mind on what project I want to use that fabric for. So that's why I've got some ribbing, because I'm going to do some ribbing on it. I'm really excited. I'm going to try out a new pattern as well. So I bought that ribbing, and then alongside that I bought 2 remnants from their website. So remnants are usually like the end of the roll. It could be someone has ordered some fabric to a specific size and then they've cancelled the order, so the fabric's been cut but the order's been cancelled, so now the fabric is cut to that measurement but the order's not there. So it could be anything, but remnants are usually sold at a cheaper price, and I love it when remnants come up, especially when they're gorgeous. So this was the first remnant that I got. There is 1.25 metres of this. It is, let me have a look, it is a brushed back French terry jersey. Yes, is that right? I don't know my fabrics very well. Brushed back French terry jersey. So it's got, basically, it's got a lot of stretch in it. It's really nice, and it has this gorgeous soft lining. I don't know if you can see, can you? You can't really see that. Can I bring it close without it blowing out? It's kind of a woolly, soft, what you'd have inside a pair of joggers that are sweatpants, I suppose, sweatpants, or inside a sweatshirt, inside a hoodie. Oh, it's delightful. But yes, that is one of the remnants that I got. As I say, it's 1.25 meters, so a decent amount. And I bought this in the Tiffany, it's in the Tiffany colourway, but they also do an aqua colourway. And the lady, bless her, she messaged me because obviously I bought the aqua ribbing and then I bought the Tiffany fabric. And the lady emailed me, she just wanted to double check if the ribbing was for a different project or if I wanted them to match the ribbing to the fabric that I bought. So I thought that was really, really lovely customer service. I did confirm with her that it was the aqua in the ribbing because it's for a different project, and she was like, absolutely fine. I just wanted to double check just in case, because obviously this colour isn't quite colour matching and they do have a better colour match in terms of ribbing, just in case. So I thought that was fantastic customer service. They didn't need to reach out at all, but the fact that they did just kind of highlights to me that they're just a good shop to go with if you want some fabric or any haberdashery or anything like that. Patterns, I think they do patterns as well. But yes, so I got this as a remnant, and then the other remnant that I got was this. I think it's beautiful. Look at this. So this is a cotton lycra jersey. So again, it's nice stretchy material, and I think that would go really, really nice with that. So I was thinking of making this, which is a Tilly and the Buttons. Oh my gosh, I'm dropping it. A Tilly and the Buttons pattern. It is the Drew sweatshirt. So I'm thinking of making this version, which has those colour blocks in it. There are actually 4 colours here, so I'm going to have to think of 2 other colours. I know white would probably, we all know I struggle with that word. White would probably be, would most likely be another colour, and then I might even get this pink or magenta, that sort of colour. This colour keeps blowing out the camera, doesn't it? But I might get white and that pink possibly, or maybe even a navy blue. But either way, I think those two look quite nice together, and I think that'd be really nice as a Drew sweatshirt. So that is my plan for those. I also got some sewing labels. You can't really see them, sadly. There we go. So I've got some sewing labels. One says original, and then this orange one says bespoke, which I thought was great. The original one I'm going to use on the t-shirt that I'm going to make, that I got the ribbing for. So that's my idea for those. So it's all very exciting, but that is my final order, my final acquisition that I have to show you this week. Very varied, as you can see. A bit of crochet, bit of knitting, bit of patterns, bit of sewing. It's all over the place. Oh, and a bit of cross stitch. Oh my gosh, everything this week, isn't it? As I say, there is some more stuff to come. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, I've ordered a bag kit. I don't know why I'm telling you, but I am. I ordered a bag kit. So you get the pattern and you get all the bits that you need to make this bag. I'm quite excited. It's a different bag pattern to me, and as I say, you get all the fabric. It's quite a heavy duty fabric, I believe. So that's going to be quite interesting. But yeah, so I've got a lot to be getting on with, really, haven't I? It's going to be a really busy year. I need to retire. That's what I need to do. Yeah. No, I can't retire for a long time. But anyway, so those are all the things I have to show you this week. Let me know what you've been working on. Let me know what plans you have. We're nearly in April. Have you got any plans for summer makes? Let me know below. As I say, I am not generally a seasonal crafter, but for some reason this week I have become that with my Adriata vest and the coordination, the co-ord set that I really want to make for Le Mans. Yeah, it's quite seasonal, isn't it? Look at me go, I'm getting organised. But yeah, let me know what you're up to. Always intrigued. So thank you so much for watching, as always. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day and weekend, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.